Welcome back to the Daily Drift channel. Ever been rushing through a stunning airport, sipping a coffee from a fancy cafe, and thought, who owns this place? You might be surprised. The answer isn't always the government. For decades, airports were seen as critical national infrastructure, owned and operated by the state. But a global shift began, and today, some of the world's biggest and best airports are run by private companies. In this video, we're diving into the world of airport privatization, naming the corporate giants behind the gates, and looking at the major new players emerging in Africa and the Middle East. The global giants, privatization pioneers. Let's start with the pioneers. The UK was a trailblazer in the 1980s, and its biggest airport set the template. London Heathrow Airport, one of the busiest in the world, is owned and operated by Heathrow Airport Holdings, which is itself owned by a consortium. The major shareholders include the Spanish Ferrovial Group, the Qatar Investment Authority, and other institutional investors. Heathrow's sibling, London Gatwick, is owned by a group led by the French infrastructure giant Vinci Airports and the global investment fund Global Infrastructure Partners, GIP. Speaking of Vinci, they are a massive player. They own a vast network, including significant stakes in Lisbon Airport in Portugal and Kansai International Airport in Japan. Another titan is Germany's Fraport. They run their home hub, Frankfurt Airport, but also manage airports from Lima, Peru to Pulkovo Airport in St. Petersburg, Russia. And we can't talk about great airports without Singapore Changi. While the Changi Airport Group is state-owned, it's a master of commercial privatization within its walls and has a for-profit arm that invests in and manages other airports internationally. The African contrast, Rwanda's gain, Kenya's pain. Now, this model is exploding in one of the world's fastest-growing aviation markets, Africa. But the story here is a tale of two strategies, with wildly different outcomes. First, the success story, Rwanda. In a landmark deal, the government signed a 25-year concession with Qatar Airways. The deal gives Qatar Airways a 60% stake in the brand-new, state-of-the-art Busiest International Airport, and includes management of the existing Kigali International Airport. This isn't just an airport investment, it's a strategic partnership. Qatar Airways is also acquiring a 60% stake in the national carrier, Rwandair. This creates a powerful, integrated travel ecosystem, with Doha as a global hub feeding into Kigali's new African hub. Now, let's look at Kenya. Just a short flight away, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA, in Nairobi tells a very different story. JKIA is old, chronically congested, and struggling with dilapidated infrastructure. For years, it has operated with only a single runway, severely limiting its capacity and potential to become a major transit hub. A solution was on the table. A consortium led by India's Adani Group was selected to take over the management and development of JKIA through a public-private partnership. The deal promised a massive, much-needed overhaul. But then, politics got in the way. The deal was ultimately cancelled, with critics labeling it controversial and raising concerns about national sovereignty and debt. So, what did Kenya lose? The country lost some massive benefits. A major infrastructure upgrade, the Adani Group was expected to finance and build new terminals, modernize existing ones, and crucially, add a second runway, ending the single-point bottleneck. Billions in investment, this was a multi-billion-dollar investment into national infrastructure, all funded by private capital, not the Kenyan taxpayer. Operational efficiency. A world-class operator would have streamlined operations, reducing delays and improving the passenger experience from check-in to baggage claim. Competitive edge. While Rwanda is building a state-of-the-art hub for East Africa, Kenya's main gateway remains stagnant, risking its status as a key regional aviation player. The new frontier, Ethiopia's ambitious plan. Meanwhile, Ethiopia, home to the continent's most successful airline, is watching and learning. They've been planning a massive new airport to replace the aging Bole International in Addis Ababa. The project, estimated to cost $5 billion, is designed to be one of the largest in Africa. And here's the key part: the Ethiopian government has announced it will be partially privatized. They are actively seeking strategic partners from the private sector. They seem determined to avoid the pitfalls of underinvestment and are leveraging the private model to fuel their growth. The big question: is privatization good? So, the big question: is this a good thing? Well, the contrast between Rwanda and Kenya shows it's a high-stakes gamble. On the pro side: investment. Private companies can pour billions into modernizing old facilities without straining government budgets. Efficiency and innovation. The drive for profit often leads to better services and world-class amenities. Operational expertise. Global operators bring best practices from around the world. But on the con side: political risk. As seen in Kenya, deals can be scuttled by politics, costing the country vital upgrades. Higher costs can lead to higher fees for airlines and passengers. Profit versus public service. The primary duty is to shareholders, which can sometimes conflict with the public's interest. Sovereignty concerns. The fear of handing over critical national assets to foreign entities. So, the next time you're navigating a sprawling, efficient airport, or stuck in a crowded, aging terminal, look around. That experience is increasingly shaped by global capital and political will. The era of the private airport is here, and it's rapidly reshaping the global map of aviation. Africa is the newest battleground, where the choices made today, between the models of Rwanda, Ethiopia, and Kenya, will determine the skyline of tomorrow. What do you think? Should countries risk privatization to secure world-class infrastructure, or is the political and economic risk too high? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the business of travel. Thanks for watching.